So we join back in with our adventurers. After last week, they had returned to the city of Cadfesi, seen that it was under quarantine, and immediately rushed into action. They made their way to the temple, and Dante, with Ichi's help, began curing the infected, starting with the High Priest Arcana themselves and the other priests and guards. Um, while Eleni and Volu took some time to check on some friends before heading out once again to the academy, having messaged the student that was working for them. Who I was thinking about this, and I checked, they chose not to give a name, but they said
They gave a fake name.
well, it was something literally like magic ring or something
Yeah,
like it was.
yeah,
It was
that's what I mean.
um. So you're heading there to see them, but also with some maybe thoughts into they are currently all researching what to do. So some ideas there, and where we last left off and where we fully paused, uh, Dante and Ichi were trying to clear one of the more heavily infected rooms.
Yeah.
And upon clearing, using their blue flames through burning hands, healed a good chunk of them, but saw that the ones further back were now turning to attack the freshly healed and pretty defenseless uh, humanoids that are now present for them. So we're going to join in as I'm going to roll one for the guards, and can I get an initiative for each of you? But we're not going into like full battle. This is just to see who reacts first,
You know what would be really good?
and that's from Ichi as well because you are also in the room.
My dice.
What would be really good is if say
Just in case you forgot.
There's only you and
I'm a fool. I didn't need to get up. They were right next to me.
you Ichi the guard. Oh, well, yeah, there's the guards that are sort of trying to get infected almost. But,
dirty 20 on the initiative.
okay.
You just say there's a guard trying to get infected.
Yeah, so they figured out that it is definitely correct.
Huh? I'm away. What?
Yeah. The group have figured out that definitely once somebody has been infected and then cured, they cannot be infected again.
Okay.
However, they
can't
be cured unless they have been corrupted.
Yeah.
So
okay, all right. This makes a bit more sense rather than just the guards have gone fucking rogue.
Yeah. So basically,
you got infected last session, as did Eleni,
and
just to test it out.
How am I feeling?
Yeah, we willingly. So Eleni
actually, to be fair, Ichi resisted it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Eleni basically let Dante burn her, and then went to heal Arcana because Arcana was infected, and then couldn't resist the infection and got infected anyway. So then Dante had to heal her again.
How was Eleni with being burned?
You're not actually burned.
It wasn't like a proper...
Well, it's more like your
bright,
trauma because you have burns, don't you?
No,
No, you have cuts. Dante has burns. Yeah. I thought there was a similar burn thing. No, okay, cool. Yeah,
but it's not burn scarred.
Yes, that's it. Cool.
But yeah, so all of Ichi, you have not been successfully cured yet. You just haven't been infected throughout dealing with the infection. And like I was saying to the group, it is essentially down to your constitution, right? So a lot of the soldiers, and actually they sent you out the room for a little bit because your bonus that you give everybody was stopping the guards getting infected.
I'm just that good.
But this is like you're fairly hardy anyway, so
question about
but
that.
You haven't found any infection.
As a paladin, I'm immune to disease.
Definitely not that. It feels less like a straight disease and more
more like a corruption.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
cool.
almost like, and again, that sort of confirms to you when you tried to cure disease with your lay on hands on Bolu.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
See my little doggy? Well, doesn't.
No, we can't see shit.
Can't see shit with that.
No. It's my little CCTV.
It was like, yeah, conveniently, you were still clear as day, and then the picture was just blurry as hell. Felt like the picture was being redacted. I rolled a 13.
Okay, so the guards are currently busy sort of keeping the majority of the back line. So if you remember, they sort of spread out and sort of took some of the infected round with them.
Mm-hmm.
Dante, you got a 20, they got a 19. You are just reacting before so there is currently 15 foot, because that's how far in your blast would have gone, of people. And they have all dropped prone, to be clear. Like, they're exhausted and wounded. Like, if you imagine your flames have healed and we spoke about this a little bit to let each know what they're seeing. The people that are this far corrupted, it's the deformities have started to, like, quite literally, like, dislocate bones and things like that. So when Volu got the rash and he healed it, Volu's able to run around and be normal because his body wasn't misshapen. Some of the people that you're healing, their legs don't work like they used to because of the previous deformities. So it's not healing them. They're still going to have to undergo normal healing.
Okay. It's just eradicating the corruption.
So as Dante lit them up with blue flamed burning hands, you got 6 of them that just immediately all collapsed to the ground. Some of them less injured than others. Some are trying to get away still, trying to crawl out of the front 3 are probably getting out of the portal. But basically, Dante, you've got 15 foot-ish of people in between you and... No, I'd say your nearest corrupted still is 10 foot to your right. If you imagine that, like, the one that would just be missed by the burning hands. But the one that is definitely fixed on the middle is 15 foot that way. And you can enter the circle, you just will struggle to leave it. You know that.
Yep. I remember I had a plan for this. However, I do not remember the plan. So
you should always make notes about your plan as well. But you need. I'm gonna get you some like a special like D&D notes, sticky notes to just like for little notes next.
Don't bother. I've had various people. I've had various people give me them. So I generally have them.
Just have it around you now.
So there's 2 still infected in the.
So because we were saying there was about 15 to 20.
Yeah, I know there's some have gone over them. I mean, in my initial blast.
In your initial blast, you had maybe half of them, so there was maybe 10 there, and you cured 6. So you're in your immediate vicinity. There are 4 still corrupted. Your closest one is 10 feet to your right, and then the others are all 15 foot at the back of the pile.
And just because we want to make sure so everything is remembered right, my right is on, and I transformed before going in.
Yes, you did.
So I am going to update my form just so I remember what that is. I'm going to start with bonus action telekinesis and push someone out, like who would be kind of whoever's, because I know they're all clumped together. Grab someone, move them away from the guys.
But you're going for a non-infected one to sort of clear the space.
Yes.
Okay. I'll say that it's up to you. There are definitely some that like cannot resist, but also the push potentially will damage them. there's ones that might resist, as in there, you're going to push it. Well, you know what I mean, flavor-wise, in terms of, whereas there's others that might try and resist because they don't know it's you. And I'll leave it to you because these are all comments, right? Like it's a pure choice of yours.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be like, get out the way. If you feel me move, you move. And I'm just going to do that to one that I kind of want to do it, say, like, because I'd imagine a lot of them are probably stunned or whatever. I kind of want to do it to someone who might be more in the way of getting everybody out.
Yeah, so you're just one of the frontline people, so that you can
just
clear
be
it.
like that. And
Okay,
then,
and they sort of slide out. They not hit harmfully, but they sort of tumble to the floor from the force of the like force push almost.
And then I'm going to take 2 steps back, and I'm going to do a run and jump straight over the rest of them, and land near the one that, or in between, if I can, between ones that are still there, as it were.
I will say you could definitely do that. Do you need to do? I think, is it an athletics or is it within your?
Within that, it'll be easily within my jumps around. So I've got an additional 8 or 10 feet. Firstly, I've got my score is 18, and then I've got an additional 4 or something.
Okay, yeah.
From my thing, so I can easily, and if it's a running jump.
Okay, so I'd say that you can definitely land between. You can either land between the left 2, or you can land on the back one, like sort of right next to the back one.
I'm going
to do where you want to go.
Gonna do the back one, I think.
Okay, so you sort of land right next to the back one at the furthest flanks of it,
and then I'm gonna do produce flame and shove it into him. So I'm not even throwing it; I'm shoving it.
I'm gonna allow it this once for the speed of the game, but I'm gonna look into it because I'm pretty sure the spell says it has to be a ranged attack. I don't think you can make a melee attack with it. Anyway, continue and make a melee spell attack with produce flame.
He does say make a ranged spell attack, but
because I would say for flavor, it's either that or you just clawing them, and it's the same. But for flavor, you ball up all the fire in your hand, and you know what I mean. I'm not gonna split hairs about how you hit them.
Fair enough. Yeah, then I mean, so that's +6 or okay. I'm just going to strike him normally then. If I oh no, because that's not my strike. My strike normally, I haven't got my right on my strikes. My right is on my sword.
Do a melee spell attack. It's fine.
Yeah, that's 23.
But easily hits them. So as you slam in, roll the damage, but it's not damaging them.
2d8. 9.
Okay, so as you slam the flames over them, you see the power of the shot like clears away about half of their corruption. And they stumble back, still like almost clearly confused and dazed and in pain and all those sorts of things. It almost stuns them for a second. But for Dante, as we just sort of described last week, when they're lying still, you're like hands over them, moving it over the burn. There is limits, and obviously there is mechanics for how quickly or how. But you have burned about half of that person off, and they are stunned until the end of their next turn.
Now I'm going to run because I've got. So how much?
So you have 40, right? Are you 40?
A 40. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So you did 10 backwards to get your run up. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 forwards. That's 20.
Yeah, balls.
And then you've jumped 20. So I think you are. Well, you've jumped 15. So you can 5 foot. You can 5 foot, but
no one's within 5 feet. I'm guessing. Okay. Well. Then, yeah, I'll just stay where I am, I guess, if the guy's stunned.
Okay. Anything you've got a second attack, or is it just the one?
Oh, I'll do it. Because
it was the produce flame. No, that's fine. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Right, so In which case, the two left and right do break towards you as like almost the biggest fixing target now, that sort of all of them are on the floor not moving and that one's fighting back, and like that sort of vibe as they sort of like try to swarm around you.
Nation defense?
Yeah. So Dante, the first one rushes in and almost goes like he's going to grapple you, but then sort of like ducks back and faints as you turning to block. And I'd say that there's almost the like fighting wolves feeling as that one sort of ducks at your legs, the one on the right like comes clawing in more towards your face.
Mm-hmm.
For a 21 to hit you.
Oh, yeah. At least we'll find out if I can get infected now.
7 points of slashing.
Reduced to 4.
Mm-hmm. With a further 3 of necrotic. And can you make me... Ooh. Also halved to 2. You don't know why. Make me a con save.
Advantage, if this is any of my things?
No.
I don't think that's advantage anyways, actually, for that.
Yeah, they're not.
21.
Okay, no worries. They sort of scratch one of the claws across your cheek, and you feel it sort of stinging, but almost like a rash, a sort of poison ivy sort of experience. However, and then the second one is going to go for like a slash at your foot for a 22.
Yep.
But well, I can just add all this together now because you're halving all of it. So for 6 points, half to 3.
Oh.
And another con save, please.
17.
Okay. You see the guards in the back sort of move to make. Sorry, Ichi, you would be before the guards.
I might call out to the guards. Don't enter the circle.
Okay. But Ichi. So you can see that there's 2 or 3 of the people, the people that are sort of making their way out to sort of like get out of the way. 15 foot in, Dante stood surrounded by 3 of them, but one of them's currently like confusedly like looking at its hand sort of thing, while 2 of them seem like quite aggressively attacking at him. The guards currently have like a grapple like they're grappling the others on the other side to keep them from turning away and sort of keeping their attention, sort of thing.
I am going to move forward, stepping into the circle and getting alongside Dante. And I am going to take the help action onto Dante to give him advantage on his attacks. And the way I'm doing such is that I'm waiting for Dante to shift focus to someone. Ichi is going to get behind them and use their like vine growth to kind of like cushion their back so that they can't retreat.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay.
And then yeah, that'll be my turn. I'll just play assist to Dante.
Okay, not a problem. Then the guards. So the guards will listen to Dante, but you see that some of them sort of start banging on the walls and stuff to sort of keep just the attention. Because again, without seeing you as such, they're very much fixed on the target that's right in front of them that they just can't reach. Okay, and they seem to manage it, and then okay, so Dante, about 10 foot further over the other side of the circle, one of the corrupted that side sort of snaps free of its grappled state and stumbles backwards, and is sort of like confusedly looking at your group for a second, not rushing at you right now, but definitely has noticed the commotion. As we come back to the top with Dante.
Dante realizes his sword would, even with the right, is most likely going to hurt the people because it's so he's a little bit stuck on that. He's going to put the sword away, and whilst he's kind of looking at his hands to maybe potentially start using, like putting the right or something into his hands, he's trying to think of just the best way to kind of get them to really do, say, the damage. At which point his hand starts to flicker, and out of it comes out a brand new flaming sword. As I use the bonus, I use the spell for the first time, Flame Blade.
Very nice, very nice.
Which is all entirely fire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a bonus action. Dante being a little bit surprised at what he's now just holding and is like, don't know, but not going to argue with it. Is going to hit the one that's already got some damage on.
That's already your half healed, yeah.
Yeah. So is that advantage now? Because
as you cast your spell, so you will have advantage on the attack. Can you make me an advantaged charisma saving throw?
Oh man.
As we are in a combat situation now.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's going to be easy then.
You do also have the +3 from Ichi because he stood right next to you.
25 then.
Okay, so almost you've been practicing over the last few days, focusing in on the memories and the specific bits that you need and the strongest pieces of that memory that you've got, and just all blue flame as the sword lights up across the room.
I've rolled an 18 and a 19, so that was happening.
No, very nice.
So cool. So now I'm going to hit the guy that's stunned for advantage, right?
Yes.
Or he is partially. That's not as nice. 16.
Just it.
So this is 10 points of fire damage.
Okay, and as the sword passes through, the rest of the corruption fades, and they sort of not fully, like, again, they're collapsing to the ground in exhaustion, but they're not like all just unconscious, but they do sort of collapse, and they're looking around a bit dazed, like, where?
Get out! And I'm gonna turn because I presume that I've got, because the flame blade still is, it's not a spell, is it now? I act as if it's a sword. So I've still got both my.
I think that's how the spell works. It's cast and then you have it out until.
Yeah, it's concentration.
Yeah, I believe so.
So.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
Scimitar lasts into the duration. If you let go of the blade, it disappears, but you can evoke the blade again as a bonus.
And it lasts 10 minutes and it's concentration.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So with Ichi's aid, am I getting advantage on everything, or is it just that one hit?
Just attacks.
Sorry.
But yes, all attacks.
Okay, we'll turn
while he's still doing the help action, right? Like,
we'll turn to the one that is nearest to Ichi.
Okay.
And I'm gonna smack him with a sword.
For a brief moment, I thought you meant you're hitting Ichi. I was like, okay. No more help for you.
I am corrupted.
I can tell.
Again.
Possessed. Please. Correct.
Now, this is just him being a dick.
That's 21 to hit.
Definitely hits.
9, 10 again, points of damage. Oh, +1. So 11 points of damage. And fire damage to one of them.
Okay.
So that's bonus action. I am going to deliberately move away from both these guys.
To sort of provoke them.
Yes.
Okay. How much damage was that attack, sorry?
11 points of damage.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, and again, about half of them. A bit more than the previous, but just over half.
Is he stunned now?
No, they seem okay.
Okay.
However, they are baited into the attack as you step backwards.
Yep.
First one with a 16, so definitely misses as you deflect them.
Yep.
Second one with a 20, so still closer, but still deflected as you.
No, it hits.
Oh, does it hit? I thought you were 21.
No, that was when I was 10 of Bruce. There's a 20 is my AC.
So unfortunately, like the first one, you just deflect as the second one catches across your waist. For
I am going to use my reaction to do my interception fighting style, so I will reduce whatever damage by 1d10 plus 3.
Okay, that's very good.
So that is 6 points of damage reduced to whatever damage you roll.
And that is great because I maxed out both dice. So it was 16, brought down to 10, half to 5.
Oh, right, cool. I really got.
Because he reduces the damage before it hits you.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. And your heart, he basically throws a shield in the way and deflects some of the blow.
Okay.
And then only 10 points get to you, which you then half.
Okay, that's cool.
It's a nice little stack of reduce the overall damage and then you half it.
So overall, how much damage do you say? 5?
5 points. I don't know how much is which, but there's burning like it's some necrotic, some slashing, right? It's definitely a mix of the two.
Yeah. It's fine. Dante will just nod at him and go, "Thank you." Yeah, that's my moves. I mean, because Ichi's now free to move as he needs, isn't he?
Yeah.
And so are the people running away.
So next is them. So I think the one closest to Ichi is going to lunge at Ichi.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was previous that hit you, Dante, almost seems spurred on by the like splash of blood and like keeps coming. And then the one that was lulling double moves to be next to you, Dante. So they're not attacking this turn, but they are feeling the frenzy and rush over.
Just to say, I've just done a con save for that hit. It was fine.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for looking out. First attack is a 22.
Ichi.
Or he's done his reaction. He's done his reaction once already, I think, until he gets back around to his turn. For
I get reaction.
Sorry, go
on. Oh, thank you.
Well remembered.
When a creature you see within 30 feet of you makes an attack, you can. Have we already ascertained that these things aren't say they're blinded, but they're not? Or
the wyvern was hard to tell with.
Okay, well, if they're immune to blinded, this doesn't work.
Okay.
But I'm going to use my reaction called the Blood Curse of the Eyeless.
Mm-hmm.
You can use your reaction to. So how much? What did they go? 20.
So they got 22 to hit you.
Okay, right. I'm rolling a d6, and it's like cutting words.
Yeah, go ahead.
3, 19.
Does it just go? Cut it under. Is 19 your AC? Sorry.
Ichi.
18 is my AC.
Well,
unfortunate. However, so for Ichi, first one is 3. Yes, it's slashing, so it's not going to be resistant.
I have resistant to bludgeoning and slashing.
Okay, so you go. So first bit is 4 slashing, halved to
2.
Actually, I keep forgetting. You just half all of it. Don't stress.
Cool.
Again, you don't know why. Five
Suspicious.
5 points, which has been halved, so it was 9 half to 5.
Cool.
Make me a con save, however, please, with advantage.
I'll take the 16 total.
Okay. The one that is rushing Dante. Oh, only a 12, easily deflecting them aside, Dante, even as you're sort of like distracted trying to help out Ichi. The one that's sort of rushing you is almost, again, crazed with the bloodlust and is just focused on trying to grab hold of you. Next is... So one of the guards will call out, how long until you can clear them? We're not sure. And again, they take disadvantage attacks, but they're still taking attacks from the grappled. One of them sort of calls out for a priest to come in, and I think at that point I'll take a little pause there with you guys. So for Dante and Ichi, there's only really the focus of the creatures is now definitely on you two, and the civilians seem sort of out of danger for the moment.
That's good.
Obviously, Dante is now going to stay in here until it's clear.
Yes.
However, we will flick over to Volu and Eleni, who have just arrived at the academy. And actually, whereas every time you've come through here, there's almost been that bustle of students and other people moving around, the actual courtyard, the outer sort of yard is just empty. There's like barely, there's the occasional person, and they're moving on like a hover vehicle as opposed to walking, or like there's no people hanging out doing games. There's none of that sort of stuff happening. But as you approach, there are sort of attendants already stationed, and one of them will sort of approach and say, do you have a business with anyone in the academy at the minute? You are still welcome to enter, but everybody is everywhere at the minute, and if you have something important to deliver, it is worth using our service. And there is basically a few of the younger students that are like set by that they can message, and the messaging back and forwards to know where is the dean right now, because he is just doing whatever he's doing.
I'm gonna say yes, we have just come from the temple. High Priest Arcanair sent us to inquire about the status of the research into halting the infection. We think we may have found a cure potentially, and we're wondering if we can speak to somebody about how we would extend it, make it affect more people at once, make it last for longer, etc.
And who can, is it directly from High Priest Arcanair that I should say the message is coming from?
It is.
Okay, give me just one moment. And they sort of motion for you to sort of take a seat at the side. Another sort of attendant will sort of approach you and say, we must ask, have you felt any recent symptoms of the infection or illness?
We have both been immunized by this new cure. That's why the High Priest was happy to send us out of the temple to come and speak to you. But I'm happy if you want to. She'll take her coat off and she'll say if you want to see.
They sort of hold up their hands and will just sort of say, we ask that you wear a cowl or a face covering when entering the building. We are still not sure how. And be careful who you accept in cures off. There have been some.
There are some really dodgy people back on the main street trying to sell absolute rubbish to people, and you're not doing anything about that.
Well, it is hard. They tend to clear out when the guard or ourselves show up. People that they can, if they recognise that we can obviously show up there. tricks.
They did move on after I had a few choice words, but yeah, that's preying on the people who are desperate.
Very much so. Wait here a minute and I'll send a message. There is maybe a 5-minute wait before the first attendant comes back and says, Master Alar Moonshadow is up in the upper wing at the moment. I will have a student escort you. Please stay with your guide. There are some areas of the academy that can be tricky for those who are not trained in magic.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But when me and Volu are on our own, I'm going to look down at Volu and say, like, I mean, at least they seem to be taking it seriously.
That's true. That's good.
I wonder where that guy is that we were after. Have you got a way of contacting him?
Where do I have any left? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I can try contacting him again.
I think we wanted to see if he'd got the sword sheath ready as well, didn't he?
We were saying we sent us. Trying to remember last week's session. We did send
you sent a sending to them, and they did say
send a sending
academy.
to them saying come to the academy. Where I can't remember if he said a specific place.
And they didn't say a specific place, but they were sort of like, we're all hands a go at the minute. Like, they're basically being forced to research this. And actually, as the sort of main doors open and the younger student that looks at you both very sheepishly and just sort of this way, and then just starts walking. And as you enter, it's like the quiet and calm of the outside is not translated in here, as there's people running back and forwards. There's like stacks of books floating through the air about head height over towards from one shelf to another. There is a rush of trying things, testing things. You can see that they've got bits of what looks like corruption in vials, and they're like sort of, as you're passing, there's like sections of cauldrons bubbling and alchemical things. The sections over there where there's runes and sigils, but the student sort of leads you through and immediately sort of takes you to one of the back tower staircases. And as they lead you up, you can see that it's hard to tell when you're in such a big building anyway, but there's almost that aspect of it feels slightly bigger than it should be. Everything's very like, it's like all glass, but it's at points not see-through, if that makes sense. But it's definitely still that same smooth, reflective texture of glass, or maybe perspex, or but as you move through and make your way up the tower, you enter into one of the higher towers, and you can sort of immediately, there's sort of weird arcane instruments that for both of you would have like sort of no idea what they're reading. There's some that make sense. There's like, you see a cosmological wheel, and like a large globe set that includes the wheel over the top of it, that you can see is sort of shifting and ticking, and as things are sort of like maybe moving in place. For both of you, you would recognize a sort of magically registering one that is sort of tracking something in the corner. And stood in the far corner, you would see Alar Moonshadow. An interesting switch from the last time you saw them in their presidential status. They were very, very clean and very prime minister status. So I don't know why I always call them president. But when they were prime minister, they seemed very clean, very, very formal. Now, as you enter, there's sort of ink stains on the fingers and robes. There's, the robe is very, very nice and almost like starlight patterns, and definitely very expensive, but there's got like ink blotches and small tears, and definitely like a used ink paintbrush in one pocket that's like sort of pooling in the bottom of one area, sort of making a black hole effect. And you can see that their expression is tired, but still very sharp. as they're sort of pondering and looking over a board of arcane scripts and runes that, for you guys, you are seeing bits of, there is some common in there and stuff like that, but a lot of it, for Eleni, you would sort of recognize it's like made up language, like maybe their own sort of script. You imagine they're the bits that are important. There's like their own notes, so they're sort of pondering over. And as you enter, they don't really look up, but will just sort of say, "Have we found anything of use?"
Yes, I think we have.
I apologize. And they almost absent-mindedly rub some ink across their forehead as they strain. And you can, as they turn, for both of you with high perceptions and insights, you don't think they've left this room for a few days. There's almost like stacks of bowls and trays in one corner. There is a makeshift bed up here this isn't their room. This is definitely their study. They definitely seem like they're getting sleep when they can or need to, but mostly they're working through. And with a deep sigh, I'm sorry, I do recognize you, but your names are losing me right now.
We were in the Chaotic Embers. We won the Doom Hacker. That's probably where you've seen us before.
Yes. They sort of confused look to the attendant, and who sort of says, "The message from High Priest Arthur." Right. Yes, please come in. Please sit down. And they sort of swish a telekinetic hand, and some chairs clear of books and other papers sort of spill out over the room. And with a second swish, the windows open and bring a bit of air and light into the room. You said you might have found a message from High Priest Agner, but you might have found something.
So I don't know if you heard, but when we fought the monsters during the race, one of our party found that he had the ability to fight the corruption that was in the monsters. It's part of a fire ability that he has. We have been trying to find a way to make that work in a better way, and we have done. He is currently at the temple and he is healing some of the less infected. Obviously, we're going to work our way up to the people who've been the worst affected. However, he is only one man. We've come to you to see if there's any way that perhaps you could look at the magical fire that he's producing and find some way of enhancing it or allowing other people to use something similar or to increase the effects so that we can affect more people at once.
You can see that almost at the point you sort of spoke of somebody that is curing, they definitely slightly drifted. They're still following what you're saying, but they're almost back on the board, thinking again.
Eleni's really not sure how much to tell him. She's keeping it quite vague, and she's not wanting to. I don't know. I suppose she's got no reason not to trust him, but I don't think she knows him very well.
No. They're sort of absent-minded. Yeah, no worries. They're absent-mindedly sort of moving it looks like a crystal viewing orb, but it's currently like filled with like shifting black mist that's sort of swirling and spinning in his hands. You're sure it is a cure, not a prevention?
Feel free to speak to Arcana directly. She was badly infected when we arrived back from our trip, and we've managed to cure her.
It is not a matter of distress. We have, as you can see, set the academy on fire trying to find out what we can about this corruption. It isn't just magical.
No.
It sounds strange, but it's almost philosophical. Like somebody taught a disease to lie.
It has a life of its own. But yes,
well,
We have been travelling for a couple of weeks. We were out of the city when everything went crazy, and like I said, we found a way to actually cleanse the infection from people who've caught it. It isn't a normal disease, but that's why we now need a way of enhancing it. We only have one person who's able to do this. Myself and my friend can't, but we're not sure how to take what our other friend can do and share that.
I mean, we have been looking into things, but everything that we can see would require something from a heavily corrupted place, which we have not been able to gain access to just yet.
Would it perhaps be possible to take one of your students or one of your professors to come and see the healing taking place, and perhaps that would help them to understand?
I will definitely send somebody over to look at it, but the issue is regardless of the source, what we are talking about is a power enhancement. It is fundamentally you need to get that power from somewhere.
Or perhaps some way of containing the fire that's produced so that somebody could carry it without having to produce it in the first place.
I would need to do more research into the source of the fire, but
yes, we've tried lighting torches and braziers. The flames don't work. It isn't normal fire.
I will remind you that Arcanet did have an idea of a potential, but it was it would extend it for a few hours, sort of thing.
Yeah, it was like something to do with Zikar, wasn't it? Like powdered Zikar and something else.
And I think Alar Moonshadow would sort of reiterate the same as we can do it over short bursts, but in terms of a long-term solution, we would need something of power, something of
one of the things I can also tell
importance
is that once somebody has been infected and healed, it seems that they're not getting infected again. There's a number of guards with Savolkov down at the temple at the moment who are allowing themselves to become infected so that they can then be healed and then be immune to enable them to deal with anything else.
They again sort of slide over to their desk and start writing, and you can see that they're crossing out some things and writing other things. And they sort of I think this confirms a theory I've been having about the contagion or the corruption, whatever the priests are calling it. It isn't just altering; it is actually altering. It is. What comes out the other side is new. It is not the same, whether it was cured or not, I feel. It isn't just trying to survive like other diseases, it's trying to almost rewrite purpose. And it means the importance of this, I feel, is that the more infected a thing or creature becomes, the more dangerous that thing will be. And again, they're sort of absent-mindedly scritching, and they were, again, a theory. We have nothing to confirm, but
the fact of the matter is that we need to help not just the people, but also the creatures in this area. We came across a couple of infected wyverns. I believe that wyverns are now attacking other animals and creatures and people in the area. Obviously, we fought creatures underground that were infected by this.
They pause you and say, have you experienced any signs of hive mind like
I'll look at volume. I would say, to me,
at the start it seemed that way.
Yeah.
Where when with the scientists, they were very hive mind-esque.
Yeah, they were. But also, with the wyvern that we just fought, there was definitely a drive to almost survive and infect as many others as possible. It was definitely about being able to spread to others. And almost everything that wyvern did was either to spread the infection or survive to be able to spread the infection. It was...
I fear that it is getting smarter. Whatever we are going to do, we need to do it quickly. I worry that our sigils and our magic will only work for so long against those that are connected and learning.
I should have talked to Volo before we came in here.
Yeah?
I'm sort of thinking we know more about this infection and where it's been in the past, but I don't know if he knows.
Oh, yeah. I also really wouldn't want to share that because that's more. It's more.
And again, they're not even really looking at you at the minute.
I would sort of look at Volo and sort of like raise an eyebrow, like. And yeah, if he doesn't look like he's giving me the go ahead, I wouldn't say anything.
They will say if your friend is sorry, go on.
Did you look in the mines where?
Yes, I was going to say that if your friend is currently curing those at the temple, at least 2 of my research teams should be on that list. We sent one into the mines and we sent one into the catacombs. Both came back with only 1 or 2 of them not being heavily infected and almost already out of it. I will say magic users under the corruption of this, or under the effects of the corruption, become quite volatile.
So perhaps some kind of immunity might be useful.
Well, if the ones that have been cured, as you say, are immune, maybe that is who I can send with you. We need to make an expedition into the catacombs once again. I think there is something down there that maybe we can use, maybe as an anchor for the healing source. Or again, there's definitely, and as they're sort of scribbling, Eleni, they're almost sort of. There's definitely something in their magical equation that they're sort of absently-mindedly circling it, like there's something missing from, they've replaced one of them and with, like almost like source is going to be fire now. Is that if you imagine they're sort of trying to create a spell or a ritual or an item but they're definitely missing something, and they're now thinking about. They will sort of. After, do your team plan to go into the catacombs? I know I'm not Prime Minister anymore, but I could definitely hire you if money is an issue.
I'm sure that we could negotiate something. We had talked about going into the catacombs before we went on our little journey. And there is also we left the golem underground fighting some corruption underneath where the Doomhacra was as well. I don't know if those tunnels there lead and connect to the catacombs. There's a possibility, I suppose.
Okay. Well, I will check on those who were healed at the temple. It will give me a few days, but on the 3rd day, I plan to send an expedition down into the catacombs with or without you. We need more information, and those, if you are correct, if the ones that come back are immune, they are perfect to go into the deeper levels. If you wish to join, send me a message either through magical means or through physical letter. I will be here until this problem is solved.
Okay.
Thank you for your information. Is there anything else? Is there anything else I can help you with before? Is there anything I can help you with before you go?
As he says that, can I scan the room to see if we can see the student we've been dealing with?
So up here, definitely not. So once you got to the tower, you were like led away from everyone else. There's basically just.
There is only one thing, but it's not incredibly important. But if we have an item that we'd quite like to lock away and have the ability to hide it from location. If there was anything like that here or anything that anyone could help us with to do that, that would be good.
I mean, what is the item?
It's a weapon.
And can it be messed with, enchanted?
It already is. We think that somebody is trying to steal it. They've attempted it once. We thought that perhaps we could hide it from magical detection and avoid.
I mean, hiding it from magical detection is fairly easy. I mean, I have a few vaults myself that I could offer to you, but it won't be accessible easily.
It'd be something we'd be looking to still transport, but something that the transportation device that can't be detected.
I mean, placing it in something like a bag of holding would prevent most basic, mundane. They would turn and sort of say, I mean, it is possible, everything is possible, but money and time is, I'll be honest, unless it is the thing that can cure our attention right now is pretty fixed.
It is not as important, obviously, as the things that we're trying to do.
If you ever need to hide something of importance, I do, as I said, I can offer you, as long as it is not too big, I can offer you a space in one of my vaults.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you finished? All done with it? Nothing else you want to ask or talk to them about?
I've look at Volu.
I can't think of anything else from it. Well.
Okay. Thank you for your time. We'll go back to the temple and wait for you to get in touch with Arkana.
They nod, but again, almost absent-mindedly, as they're now back on the project at hand. And you're almost like waiting outside as you exit. The young student sort of, would you like to head to the exit now?
Yes, please.
Okay, and they'll start leading you through. As they're leading you through, give me a perception if you want to try and keep an eye out for Magic Ring Dude, and obviously, Volu, if you want to message him, you can attempt to.
Can we see him? Yeah.
You can give an attempt to perception for
Perceptions
first.
I'll have a look for him as well. So
12.
23.
Okay, so Volu, you don't catch a sight of him. Eleni, you can see on the far side, in another room, but through like a large open archway sort of thing. They've almost turned one of the dining rooms into sort of research and other things, and it's in the room where some of the cauldrons are and such. You can see there he's basically just being sort of ordered to go and get things. You can see him, but he's like doing runner work. As you sort of see him run to this side and get some herbs and run back over that side and give it to that person, and then get a call over there, and they're almost running between the cauldrons, assisting with ingredients.
I would point him out as we're coming down the stairs. I'd point him out to Volu. That looks like our friend.
Shall we? Is he close enough telepathically to us?
Not right now, but you could on the way. A bit like if you sort of divert slightly, sort of trying to like skirt around a crowd almost. You could definitely get within range to catch him telepathically.
Yeah, I'll go try that, and then I'll be like, are we on the stairwell at the moment still?
Yeah.
I'd say to get within contact, you would sort of be coming off the bottom of the stairs. You'd have to sort of get to the bottom to get to the range.
Yeah, so I'll be look at the bottom of the stairs. We're waiting for you.
They sort of freeze and sort of take a look around, and then you do notice they get sort of shouted and they sort of move over. In their head, they will sort of they're gonna cast a quick message, just sort of point at the bottom of the stairs because they don't know exactly where you are, but that will suffice as long as they're thinking of you and pointing in the right direction. And in through a whisper in your own ear, that you would hear, it is my shift at the minute on maintaining, and you can see they're still running while they're doing this. Could you wait 10 minutes or so? If not, I'm happy for you to come back or for me to meet you somewhere else. And again, they sort of get called over as they grab the next sort of ingredients. And
they said they could be free in about 10 minutes. Shall we
Should we just
wait
go
around?
on?
Maybe see if what everyone's doing, see if we can
Yeah,
see anything that may help us.
definitely.
okay, the student does sort of like look at you like you have stopped walking this way to the exit.
I'm going to just say to the student, like, so have you been involved in like helping with the research? And I'm going to start talking to the student and trying to keep their attention to see if that gives Volu a chance to sort of slip.
Give me an advantaged charisma. I don't persuasion if you've got it, but it's almost like I don't. There's not really like a.
I'm not great at these anyway, but yeah, let's see what I can come up with. That was a 7.
You would see they're almost like very like almost just too shy and just very like. I wouldn't know what to do. We should go. I don't want to get shouted at. And they're sort of trying to like usher you towards the exit.
Okay, so I would be walking towards the exit, but I'm going to be really slow. And as we're walking, seeing how nervous they are, I'm then going to be like, well, so have you always lived in Cadfesi? Where did you come from?
Is it that obvious? I am from a nomad clan.
Oh, one of my friends is from a nomad clan as well.
Oh, which are they from east or west side of Versa?
Oh, I think east side, and I think the southeast.
I mean, I know a few of the clans out there, but I don't know them personally. We are far in the west, on the west coast of Versa.
It's my
I
friend
miss
is
it a
my
little
friend
bit.
is a Grundon.
We have some of those in our tribe as well.
Yeah. So I'm just nattering about
Yeah.
them rather
And
than about
I'll say that Eleni, you are sort of fixed in their attention.
Mhm.
It gives Volu a moment to potentially slip away. And because they are still even slowly walking, it won't take you 10 minutes to get to the front door. So if Volu wants to have that moment, but I will pause there. And as we sort of pause in that moment, as Eleni is distracting the young, definitely fresh, like almost like freshman style student, you get the impression that it's like they haven't even really started their studies, so they can't be used in research in any capacity. So that that's sort of the vibe that you're getting from them. And you do imagine that probably a few were picked up off the festival. Like people sort of came and attended and showed off magical skill, and were given places, etc. But as that is happening, that is where we will call the end of part 1. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for playing. As always, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you know when the videos are coming out. And as always, roll well. Bye.
This is the end of part 1. Part 2 airs Sunday 7 PM GMT, or will be linked in the top right of your screen now. Thank you for watching, and roll well.